Yo, bitch.
The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the Panther. That dude Fizz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying around the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot the death, oh yes, these other sports podcasts live as a pros course. Biz market wave, and starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyze it with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the force ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season if people start five. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat spit. I got what you need.
Man, I feel like I'm still not awake yet. But nonetheless, we here. We're finally fucking back. As you see the title, we missed a few things. Y'all know who I am already. It's your boy the mayor, that DJ named Ace5, your mom's favorite fat guy. Trying his best to enjoy WrestleMania weekend, but when fucking the WWE is doing what they do and being as predictable as they always are, it's kind of hard on a person like myself. But it is what it is. My bad. What up, yo?
What up, man? Good to see you. Good to be seen. Glad we're back. I'm in the building, as the title says. I'm just over this rain bullshit we had in like the past week and a half. I need spring to fight back and be spring. It's the first good day in a week and a half, I think. It's been just like we live in another country. Just dread every day and cold on top of that. So, besides that, I got some disappointing news on the Knicks side. Randall's out for the season, but we got OG back, so I don't know what that means for us come playoff time. But
we're gonna talk about that in a minute.
All right. Besides that, life is good. No complaints. Just happy to be here. What up, O?
What's good, fellas? And I'm still a little hungover. That I think I had a little bit too many flowers last night, man. I'm still feeling like the residual, still not down yet. You know what I'm saying? So
is that because the Mets won their first game?
You know what? It just so happens I'm wearing a Mets hat. I mean, shit, I ain't think it was everybody.
I was about to say, but he don't rep, but he don't rep that part of Queens though.
No, he don't.
The mess.
Straight Bronx over here. Nah, man. I know we gonna have a good show today, man.
Yeah, right. Man. We just gonna go through a couple of things that we fucking missed out on, shit like that. Yeah, like I said, man. I swear, I got friends. Right? I wish I had friends like my fucking. No disrespect to y'all, but I wish I had friends like my upstairs fucking neighbors. They always got people coming over. You okay? They always got fucking people coming over. But anyway, I digress on that. But yeah, man, we missed a few things. It was tournament season, but tournament season just happened to have fell on fucking everybody doing something kind of season.
Facts.
Like everybody doing something. Somebody allegedly came back last weekend. I haven't seen the nigga since. But Yeah, I mean, a lot of shit. I mean, just a lot of shit's going. A lot of shit missed that we kind of felt like we just missed on. So we got a light one today, but yeah, that our Knicks, our Knicks. That Julius Randle, TJ, keep going.
Yeah, man, it's like we could never catch a break, man. This is like one of the best teams they've had constructed in a very long time. And it's built around Brunson and Randall to two to play off each other. They got tons of shooters on the team now. Um, you know, and it's just like we can't catch a break. Mitchell Robinson's finally back. I'm happy about that. OG got some burn against Chicago the other day. I'd like to see who's lining up, who's playing today. And they're fighting for their lives to stay in the 4th seed now when they could have easily been the 2 seed if everybody was healthy because the way they're running through teams. So, I mean, I hope they get out of the first round. I really do. I mean, that means that it was another successful season in terms of realistically being a Knicks fan. You know what I'm saying? Anything else after that is just bonus. But yeah, it's just like we can't catch a break. And all these people talking about Tibbs is a horrible coach. He runs his players in the ground. He works with what he has. He works with what he has. If you got 3 of your starting 5 guys out, who else are you supposed to play, dogs? There's nobody else. These guys got to stack minutes until reinforcements come. You got to do it. We have nowhere to turn to. These guys, oh, you can't run these guys 40 minutes a night. But then we're not winning games. Then it's either run these dudes 40 minutes a night and win, or don't run them and lose. And then you still blaming the coach. Like, you can't win, man. You can't win. So, Tibbs has got this team at a very high level. The culture is very good right now in the Garden and in that locker room. He has strong leadership within his players. Everybody plays with themselves. There's no big egos really walking around in that locker room. They're sharing the ball a lot now. They're literally one of the deepest teams in the league, and that's by them holding down their third, or holding down their 4th spot in the East. That's the true definition of a deep team. I mean, man, if we could have just get that. I mean, as much as we criticize Randall for his, all his warts about, holding the ball and spinning in the triple teams and shit like that, that's 24 and 10 you can't replace. Nobody's putting that. And he's a menace in the paint, a complete menace. He's an extra rebounder. And, I mean, God bless Josh Hart. God bless that man, because he is an absolute terror. 6'5", 6'6", and he's damn near averaging 9-10 rebounds a game. That's unheard of for a guard or a small forward at that point. I mean, he's literally a 2/3. But the effort that man brings every night is what the whole team is bringing. And sometimes we're going to hit shots and sometimes we're not. But you know what? You're never going to get a lack of effort out of this team. If they're getting blown out, they're getting blown out from the jump, like early. And then there's them trying to catch up. But you're not going to smoke this team. And any given night, they can still beat any team in the league with that roster as it is right now. So, as many teams say, we're down to play, you don't want to play to the Knicks. And the way the refs have cut down on the foul calling, that plays right into the Knicks' hands because they're a very physical team. They beat the shit out of you physically. They wear you down. And it's up to you to outlast them. So, I'm excited for them. I'm glad we're going to make the playoffs. I'm just a little bit worried about where we're seated at. But, we can't catch a break. I'm really excited for next season if everybody comes back healthy, for sure. We should be one of the top 3 teams in the East at that point. That's where I'm putting them at. They should be a top 3 team in the East at that point. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But
I agree. I wasn't expecting much, to be honest, other than at least a good second round showing. Just for development purposes. Just to show that, hey, we're taking the right step. Like, never will I be one of those delusional fans that say, yo, this is our year. We're going to take it. Pump your brakes. Losing Julius Randle does hurt a lot. But even still, the progression that we've made over the past few years, especially this season looked like that next step up.
Yeah.
that we needed to take. And
Yeah.
I'm appreciative of it as a Knicks fan. And again, even if we get knocked second round, that's okay.
Well,
It's
Dan,
okay
this is where
because
we
it's a
missed the
step in the right
superstar at.
direction.
This is where we missed the superstar at, basically. Like, I don't know who's out there. It doesn't look prosperous right now. I don't know who's coming. It's gonna have to be some wild shit from left field. And I don't want to give up a lot to get this person. I'll give up all the draft picks that we got. But if you start taking personnel, you have to take from the end of the bench. I don't want to give up no key contributors to get a superstar like that. Because you need a strong bench in this league to make it all work. So
true indeed. But honestly, like if we were to get rid of somebody, whoever's the most injury prone, star or no star.
Damn, I'm looking up and down that roster. I don't want to give up nobody. I mean, Burks and Bogdanovich have not put up numbers like we thought they would. But outside of them, their trade value right now is low as hell.
Look at the progression of Deuce McBride. Nobody expected that from him.
Yeah, you want to give him up for another player? I mean, I'm not in a rush to give him up. Him nor Hartenstein.
I'm not. But if we're getting a guy who's getting like scoring 29, 30 points a night and giving us like 10, 12 boards and a couple of rounds, I mean, you got to package him with like a Burks or Bogdanovich and the draft picks to do that. I don't want to give up DiVincenzo. I don't want to give up Hart. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to give up Hartenstein or maybe Robinson, maybe Mitchell Robinson. But then because we got Precious. Precious has been playing solid. So maybe you throw Precious in and keep Robinson. It's like one of the two.
Hartenstein, I don't want to see go nowhere, especially after learning this week.
He's black.
Yes. Yes. I don't know if that. I hear that he's bright skinned. I don't know if that fucked anybody else's head up, but that sure as hell fucked my head up when I seen that the Instagram video of Hartenstein said, he's like, people don't know that I'm black, and I was just like, wait, what? Whoa, yeah, his daddy gotta be black.
His daddy's
his
black.
Daddy was
his daddy
black.
Yeah,
his daddy definitely black.
I heard that before. I just never seen his pops. I'm looking at his pops. I'm like, so your last name is Hartenstein?
Right, with the last name too. Like, I just want to know. I want to know the N-word game from him. That's really what I am the most interested in. The kid's game on the court, the kid is very good.
Yeah.
But I want to know his nigga game. Does he or does he not use it?
He looks like he doesn't use it at all.
I was gonna say I hope he doesn't, just because of how he passes.
Yes.
But also his size, he could be on some Gorilla Nems type shit. Shout out to Nems. And use that shit every other sentence. And then be like, yo, question me. I'm a nigga just like you too. I want to see him use it in front of Dr. Umar. See how he would.
Nah,
might not turn out good for him, man.
Nah, that dude is 7 feet, damn near 270, bro. He's not. Umar got nothing for that man, bro.
There you go. He said, Kurt, shout out to Kurt. He said, I think his grandfather is German. That's why his name is Hartenstein. Possibly. We could do some ancestry on that. But yeah, man, I want to know. I want to know what his nigga game is like. Pause. Whatever you want to say. No Diddy. We gonna get to that too. This is
no Diddy.
We gonna dive into O's type of topics in a minute. We're gonna keep it in basketball real quick.
He definitely does not look like he uses that word at all. Like, it's not even in his vocabulary.
I'd agree. But still, funny is funny in this moment.
He looked like his pops told him, you can't say that. That's
right.
He was like, yo, I'm gonna give it a pro and a con. Like, yo, you look white, so things are gonna be better for you than it is for me. But the flip side is you can't use this word. You can't use it. You can't use it.
His daddy would hit him with the "Come here, little nigga. Don't you dare use this shit outside. Come here, little nigga."
His black card got restrictions.
Hey, yo. His black card is a punch card.
Yes, no.
It's crazy.
Is he invited to the barbecue? That's the question.
Earn 8 punches for one use.
One nigga.
Maybe count.
I mean, but all right, we're here, and we've discussed this before, TJ. How many people was confused in your personal experience of your 50 years on Earth?
Everybody, dog. You mean how many? All of them. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't know me personally, it was just like, yo, he's Spanish. I've been called Spanish, Arabic, Jewish, what's that? Yemenis, every light-skinned Arabic country in the world I fit in. You know what I'm saying? Morocco, all that shit. Egypt, I can pass.
Yeah. I'm shaking my head because I agree. Yeah.
I'm
with Dominicans, I'm Dominican.
Yeah, Dominican.
I'm sitting here hearing people scream, "Yo, Ak," and nigga TJ turn around like, "Yo, who the fuck they talking to?" Nigga, I'm not making your sandwich. Shut up.
If I'm with Puerto Ricans, I'm with Dominicans, I'm Dominican. Like, it just, my boy said I should have been in the CIA. I could have been like a multitask, like super secret agent and shit. He was like, "Yo, grow a beard, dogs, for this mission, and then cut the shit off for the next one." So yeah,
Samoa Joe's stunt double. Nah.
I got into an argument with an older Spanish lady because she was like, "No, you Boricua." I said, "No, I'm not." She said, "Yes, you are."
She's talking about know your heritage.
Yes. She's like, "Why are you fighting it?" I was like, "All right, I'm just gonna let you win and shit. I'm Boricua. Fuck it." So yeah, man.
Moment.
I told you that story. I got into a big thing in college because the dude thought I was Spanish.
Yeah.
He was like, "If this dude says nigga one more time, I'm gonna slap the shit out of him." And he's like, "Bro, wow. He's black." He's like, "How do you not know he's black? When he opens up his mouth, he sounds black." He's like, "Nah, you're lying to me." He was like, "Nah, we're not." His whole family's black. So yeah, man. It's even weird at jobs I've had before. It was like, "Oh, so you like Latin food? So what are you, Puerto Rican? What's your Puerto Rican side like?" I'm like, "Who's Puerto Rican, bro? Did I say that? Did you read my bio when you came in?" Like, nah.
They tried to say TJ covered all diversities in one hide.
I am DEI.
Right? I said, you are the Diversity Day episode of The Office in one person. Said, you went from, "Do you want a cookie to my nigga?"
They're gonna give me a sombrero on one joint, and then they're gonna give me a kufi on the next one, and then on the next one they're just gonna give me.
And it's all connect, and it's all snapback.
Yeah.
And it all connects via snapback.
I'm gonna get a Punjabi turban next. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no. So yeah, I confuse the shit out of people all the time, and it's funny because I can watch them stumbling. You can see their eyes, and they don't know what to say. And I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead, say it, bro."
Exactly.
You speak Spanish?
No, I'm studying. I'm taking Babbel right now to learn Spanish. I can understand Spanish. I can't respond back to anybody. I can respond back a little bit, but I do not speak Spanish. I like it. I'm trying to master it, but Dominicans talk way too fast for me to understand them, bro. They just 100 miles a minute. I can't. And then they like speak broken Dominicans, like slang Spanish, and that shit is even worse. It's just horrible. You don't know what the fuck they talking about. So it's
you gotta be in the mix to understand.
Yeah.
Well, so this year's 20 years with my wife, and I still this much.
Dan
Like you
is
said,
un poquito.
very.
Wow.
But it used to. Like, I've said this before. Like when we was in the car, and like my mother-in-law would be talking to my wife or whatever, and I'll just be laughing or agreeing with certain shit because it was at a point where I at least you catch a word, and then it's like, okay, I understand where this conversation is going. Then it got them to the point where it's like, man, we got to start watching what we say around him. I'm like, no, y'all
Yeah.
good because I still don't know shit. Like you said Babbel. I downloaded Duolingo and I still haven't opened it up yet.
Just looking at you on the app.
Yeah, I still haven't.
Every time you
and
see you, like, I
real,
gotta get to this.
real reality is it's not the Spanish because I could make my wife. I'm not make, but I can say you need to start teaching me.
Yeah.
Japanese was what I wanted to.
You know what? I
Yeah.
tried learning that for a minute. That shit is hard, dogs.
Yeah,
Japanese is hard.
because the fucking the lettering,
pronunciations.
the lettering though, it just some of the shit looks the same,
Yeah.
but there'll be like one little
Japanese
stroke
hard.
that's like off. That it's like, oh, it turned from fucking cat to fucking from cat to freaking boat. Did we talk
speaking of
about
which,
that? The boat shit the last.
Y'all.
We
No.
did talk about that.
I was trying to let the plane pass.
I only know one word in Japanese. That's biru. That's beer in Japanese. That's it.
Yo, any y'all start watching Shogun?
Yes.
No.
But the show you need to watch is Tokyo Vice.
I started
That
watching
show-
that. Yeah, I gotta
Show
watch
is
that.
bananas. It's based on somewhat of a true story too. That show is dope. And every English actor in that show speaks fluent Japanese, like damn near perfect. At least from what I can tell. And they're going back and forth in Japanese. They got the subtitles up and everything. I'm like, oh, that is dope. I want to learn how to do that. But
I gotta pick that up then. Tokyo Vice.
yeah, Tokyo Vice is the shit. For sure.
Yeah, I wanna not. I don't want to segue too far because I wanted to get into this Caitlin Clark shit real quick, but like I wanted to pick up the Japanese because like Japan is still bucket list trip, like bucket list trip, and I was thinking, I'll ask y'all this: have y'all ever done like the guys trip? And I'm talking the guys trip with like the people that you grew up with, like your OG
Yes.
friends.
Yes. Fortunately, it was a Black Bike Weekend at Myrtle Beach, but yes, I've done the guy trip, and that was bananas. Bananas. Also did a guy's trip to Vegas, but it turned out that when we were getting on a flight, we ran into another one of my boys, and he was going for his bachelor party, so we got roped into that too, and that was crazy. That was a good weekend. That was another good weekend that we had no expectations of what we were going to do out there, and then it turned into that. So that was a lot of fun too.
Nice. I haven't yet.
Yeah.
You need one, bro. You need one in your life.
I haven't done it yet with none of my like I said, my OG friends, like the ones that I like when I made that. You saw the video I posted up about do we still play video games or do we still get up to play video games? Like,
Yeah.
I was talking about like those people, like the 30+ year friendships, and it's like, yo, I was still having. And just on the video game side of things, it was like, yo, maybe Japan might have to be it. We're all fucking.
That would be a lot
adults.
of fun.
It would be a lot of money, and would need these people to fucking understand we can't. You know what I mean? Not that I had a group of friends that acted the ass anyway, but they'd have to know you can't go out there acting a donkey. You know.
Well, that's
like
the whole deal, Dan. When you traveling abroad, there's only a handful of people I can travel with like that, and because I'm not going to be here to babysit you, I'm not bailing your ass out of no Japanese prison. You know, we're gonna call the consulate for you, call your family, but yo, help them out. I'm going to continue this trip that I paid for.
Especially
I'm not
when you're
wasting
paying
my
like
money.
fucking 10 to 14,000.
Yeah. I'm not wasting my money worrying about your man in a Japanese prison system. He'll be like your man in what's that Chappelle movie? where he had to defend himself, where he had the Squirrel Master defending him or some shit like that.
Half baked.
That's all on you, dog. Yeah, Half Baked. He'd be like my man in Half Baked. We'll come and visit. We'll tell you where we went for the day, and then like we're going back to the Airbnb, dogs. But stay strong.
We gotta save Kenny's sweet virgin ass.
Nah, I've done Puerto Rico with the fellas, man, and yeah, it's a lot cheaper than Japan. You know what I'm saying? So it's doable, and you can get away over there speaking English. So yeah, that might be a good first trip, man.
Yeah, Puerto Rico. I've done Puerto Rico. Actually, I did do quote unquote a guy's trip, but like it's with my boys that are like, these friendships are like 20 plus years now. But I'm talking like the people that I grew up with from elementary school. But like the first time I did Puerto Rico was one of the 1 year Labor Day. 1 year Labor Day. Like it was like when New York was always going down there heavy. No, it wasn't Labor Day. It was a Memorial weekend. And this is when all the party promoters and shit was doing parties over there and shit. So this is when we was in the clubs. Like we was in Webster Hall. We was in Club Abyss all the time. And we had other people that was connected to people that was like heavy in the party scene. We were friends with people who are heavy party promoters, shit like that. And so it was like $150 pass, get into all the parties that was connected between this one crew. And we bought them shit, and we was everywhere. But it was just like it was New York and Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
It was New York and Puerto Rico. And then when we went again with the family, like because again, my wife's from there. My wife was born on the island, spent, I think, our first 2 years out there, then was up here, whatever. But we was in like the hoods. Like we was at the hood beach. We was in the rail neighborhoods where
the real shit.
Water filtration systems was collecting rainwater from fucking barrels and shit on top of the roof type shit. Damn. There were other like we were seeing other houses like that were a little better, but was still on the compared to like what I'm looking at right now, nothing like, you know what I'm saying? And you can't play around. Like you could think you could play around down there. Nah. Puerto Rico is dangerous as fuck. But it was just like it was like blah. Like it was like being up here. All we did was it was like beach, hang out, shopping, beach.
Yeah, like, the thing is on vacation, I don't want to do the same shit I do at home. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do none of that shit.
And Puerto Rico was that. Like it was whatever. Will I go back? Yeah, because it's fucking warm weather. Who don't want warm weather? Hate the cold. But I wouldn't I don't know if I would want to take up residence down there. Like actually I mean back then this was well over fucking I forgot how many years ago now, but it was her grandfather's house was like still like there, but like not done up. And I said to my wife, like, yo, like maybe we should fucking talk to your uncle and your mother and see if we can do something with that. So we got a place to go to if we go down there, you know. But yeah, I had to get that out. I just never had like that guy's trip. Never had that guy's trip. Like when we did the movie night in Greensboro. Like we traveled down there as a crew, but it wasn't like a guy's trip. It was a business trip, even though it was a free show or whatever, but it was a business trip. Got to see some people that I knew from up here from Staten Island that moved to North Carolina. And, one person I haven't seen since junior high school came through. My man who just moved down there at the time, He might have been there for like a year or so after retiring NYPD, came through. You know,
Oh,
so
that's
I
nice.
seen some of my Staten Island people. Shout outs to Rita from the group from HHDG. She drove down to kick it with us.
Rita comes to all the travel
Everything.
events, bro. I've seen her at so many. I've seen
Everything.
her at so many festivals. She came down to ATL for A3C one year. She was at the Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival a couple of times. Rita shows out. Shout out to her. She does the damn thing.
Yeah,
When
all the time.
it's a good thing, she'll come out and travel. Respect to her.
Word. But yeah, like I'm gonna just keep it as I never really had the guys trip. I'm gonna keep it at 0. So like I said, it's different when you get to kick it with like the people you grew up with, the people you was in fucking element. I'm still friends with people that are from elementary school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dan, let me tell you
Elementary
something.
school.
When you do it, that vibe is going to be phenomenal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like you out here with your brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
These guys are like family. And the nonstop jokes, the personal jokes that nobody knows about that y'all are laughing at and shit like that, all the behind the scenes snapping on each other the whole time. It's a phenomenal vibe, man. All you doing is laughing, drinking, having a good time, cutting up and shit, going out to eat in nice places. It's just a blast, man. It's just a blast.
Exactly.
Highly
That's
recommend.
what
Highly recommend it.
Exactly what I need, because it's like, like we've, it was every day with these dudes when we was younger, but then it was like once we got into our 20s, like I said in my video, we all separated.
Life
and
happens.
we don't. Yeah, life happens, and we don't get up. But like you said, that choice of words of it's brothers, it's past like we're friends, whatever. Like it's like y'all dudes is family for good. Like when we went to Florida, not the last time, but one of the last family vacations for my daughter's birthday. My brother Leon made the 1.5-hour drive to come kick it. I was supposed to kind of go his way and go see my big brother Mark in Lakeland, Florida. Tampa is where my boy Leon lives. Tampa is like right in the middle of Lakeland, like between Lakeland and where we were in like Orlando, Kissimmee. Like I was gonna go, but he came my way. He kicked it for like 2 hours or whatever, maybe 2 or 3 hours, just chilling, talking, catching up type shit. This is what it is. This is yeah. Eventually,
It's a great
I
feeling.
gotta see and I brought it up because I told my boy called us on a 3-way call. No pause, because I said it correctly this time. We was on a 3-way call because my boy realized like I called him, then my boy Leon called him, because his father died, so we was just making sure everything was straight. He was telling us that he kind of was already at peace with it and all that, and then we just started again talking about bike riding adventures and fucking I still remember that time when you flipped on your bike talking about me. I fucking flip forward on a bike, and we thought everything was cool. And then they were at the vantage point of watching the bike flip in the air, and then the back tire smacked me in the head, and my face goes into the damn concrete. Hit my teeth on the street. And I was just like, yo, but it was hilarious because there was these fucking kids on the sidewalk and they was laughing at me, and I'm trying to play tough to them, like, yo, shut up. And my boys is laughing at me, and it was just like, yo, I'm trying to play tough to these kids, but I'm fucking dying laughing because it was funny, and they're laughing at me. So I'm laughing. I'm trying, and then I just was like, nah, kids, y'all got it. I just started laughing with them, like, yo, y'all got it.
Bro, I had a similar situation like that. We came outside after Kung Fu Theater, and the house next to me, nobody lived in, so we was always playing in their front yard. And I did some jumping, flying kick, and the dude caught my foot and flipped me over, and I landed on top of my wrist. The shit was mad funny. Everybody's laughing until they saw my wrist. It was like, TJ, your wrist. I looked at it, my wrist was sitting on top of my hand because I dislocated it. I was like, I was like 12 years old. I was like, I just started crying in the middle of laughing, bro.
I didn't have that. When I did start, there was a moment. No, there was a moment where I cried getting into a fight with a friend of mine in elementary school, and I was winning. And then when the principal came and stopped us, I started fucking bawling, all because I just didn't want to get in trouble.
Right.
That was it.
Hey,
And then like shit, I'm remembering like through this ashiness, there's a scar that I've had here for a whole life. Fighting another person who's a friend of mine, was on the bus stop. Fighting. He's hit me with an umbrella. I'm bong, bong, bong. Well, we're here, we're like close, like, you know, on some like Russian fucking phone booth fighting. Like we was, and he's hitting me with an umbrella, and I look like this. I look to the side, and I'm like, this nigga's hitting me with an umbrella. I look, and then I look up, and then the umbrella's split in half. And look up, and then we finally stop, and somebody was like, yo, oh shit. I looked down at my hand. My whole fist was purple.
Because the umbrella stabbed you.
The umbrella gashed me. It was 2 stitches because the stitch marks are still there. 2 stitches. The umbrella gashed me so good. I saw the white meat, number one. And it was, the blood was flowing so heavy that it was the original color that's inside our body on my hand.
Damn.
And it was like, oh, I was shocked. It was more shock, no tears. Like it was, that was like, oh shit, shock moment. Like,
you know what? As long as you didn't die as when you was doing that dumb shit as a kid, it was all good. They'd check to see if you was lived, and then it was jokes. It was straight jokes. You could have been fucked up. I remember my friend, his mom told him not to go up this tree, climb the tree. And what did he do? He climbed the tree. He fell out the tree, hit the mailbox, broke his wrist. We ran back up to his mom's house. We told him what happened. She said, didn't I tell you not to be in that tree? She grabbed his broken wrist and started beating his ass with a chancleta, bro. And just right there in the tree, we're like, oh. Didn't care that his wrist was broken or nothing. So it's just shit like that you remember forever, man.
Word. But something that we're going to remember forever is this performance that Caitlin Clark has been putting on all year. But the way I threw it to y'all was like, a lot of people was out there talking like the NCAA had a conspiracy to make sure she got in the final.
I didn't hear that.
I was seeing it on TikTok and shit like that. And it all stemmed from that foul call against my Lady Huskies that wasn't a foul.
Oh, that offensive foul bullshit call. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yo, from what I heard though, they've been calling that play. They've been calling that a foul the whole game though. You know, I didn't watch the whole thing. I missed it. I missed the game and totally forgot it was on. But yeah, my this guy worked with my boss. He was like, because he does his little refereeing on the side, and he was like, nah, that's a play they've been calling all game. You know, that little bullshit, the bullshit blocking foul. So I don't know. I mean, I saw it. You know, it plays like that you usually don't call at the end of the game because you don't want your call to sway, you know, the results.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's why people are such up in arms over it.
But didn't she drop like 41 points in that game or something like that? Like she's the truth. Like she's unstoppable. Like she's a real deal. She's the real deal. Now they need to stop saying, "Yo, she could play in the NBA." That's just a bridge too far. She's not. She's athletic, but she ain't that athletic. Will she get a bucket in the NBA? Sure, but you're talking about a person that can't jump and grab a rim or dunk. Nobody in the NBA is playing where they can't at least put the ball down in the rim like that. You got to be athletic, man. And she's not messing with the body weight of half them dudes. Jalen Brunson's only barely 6'1", 6'2", but he's a solid 200 pounds. She's not guarding that dude. He'll truck her right over. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but here's the thing:
mentality of the NBA, she's not built for.
Well, I don't know who's saying the NBA nonsense, but I do like that offer that Cube gave her, though. I do like that because, you know, though you got like Kenyon Martin and all these Gilbert Arenas, all these cats saying like, yo, she wouldn't be able to hang in the Big Three. I think a game like the Big Three would be for a person like her.
Yeah, because
person
she
that's
can
a
shoot off
shooter.
screens and stuff like that. Yeah, it's easy to
Right.
set her up.
Right.
She
And
ain't
then
getting in the trees to grab no rebounds, but she'll get a long rebound. You know what I'm
that
saying?
part.
But yeah, she ain't trying to body up nobody, but if you get her screen and she can hit a little pull up or maybe drive to the basket or something like that, she'll be all right. But like in a full court game, nah.
And
Yo,
then too,
what
like,
is the I'm sorry,
you know
what is
what?
the equivalence of catching a pass over the middle in basketball? Like getting a hard pick set on you. Let her fuck around and get a hard pick. Catch a
True,
hard pick and
but
she'll be done.
why do we here's one of them things that, in full defense of women, especially women in basketball, why do we act like some of the top notch players, women players, especially in this country, we act like they've never played with boys coming up.
Right.
And
That's the reason why they're so good now.
Right, and that's part of why I say that. Not on of course, you're not playing with NBA level players, but body types. There's body types like that are in the NBA that never make a pro sport ever. I'm sure you run with on some weekends.
Yes. I play with a couple of D2 dudes sometimes. But here's the thing. Dawn Staley even said that she makes them practice against men. She literally said this. They practice against guys all the time. And so when they go against these girls, this is why they're washing teams. Because the physicality that the men bring, they're bringing that to the girls, and they're just washing these teams. Because they can't match that level of physicality or that effort. You have to play with extra effort when you play against a guy, because you're out to prove that you can do something they can do as good, if not better. So that's your whole mentality. So when you go against these girls, it's like it's practice to them. You know what I'm saying? And Dawn Staley did the great thing of, she's like, now they may be practice players on the team, some physical trainers and stuff like that. They're still men. You know what I'm saying? And they're still getting their work in. And it helps them develop their game to be better. Will we ever eventually see a woman that possibly physically strong enough and athletic enough to run with a guy in the NBA? I'm sure we will. Maybe not in my lifetime, but it's going to happen, because if you keep doing this, and if you're bringing them up from like age 8, 9, or 10, you have them consistently playing with guys. I seen these little girls now. They're doing crossovers, step back jabs, wraparounds. These girls are nasty. There's one girl, she's like the female version of Jamal Crawford, the way she handles the ball and yo-yos it. I don't even know her name. She's like 15 or 16. She's a monster. She's gonna be a problem when she goes to college. And I'm like, you can see she's toying with these girls. You can see she's toying with these girls. It's child's play to her, because she's probably playing with men or boys her age or similar, or a little bit older, and she's putting in the work. So it can definitely happen. But
here's the thing,
you just got to see.
We don't need to see them against guys in the NBA.
Right.
We don't need to see that.
Right.
We don't need to see that. Do we? I mean, we just need to see that level transition into the WNBA. And again, Caitlin Clark, I hope she accepts that $5 million offer from Cube in the Big Three, only because that will save her from having to do what every other woman in that league has to do, and that's travel to Europe, travel to fucking Russia. It's pretty much getting a second job. Yeah, that's the best way, the simplest way to put it, is going out and getting a second job, because the top salaries in the WNBA. I forgot who I was talking to and was looking it up. Just under 250,000. And that's going into like the Tarasis and just some of the greats like that. Like you had to be.
I think with this next crop of girls coming out, they're going to change the WNBA into a more like that girl Juju, who plays with USC. You got the girl at LSU. Yeah, you got the other girl at LSU. You got Caitlin Clark now out of Iowa. They're a different athletic level type of girl that's coming into the WNBA. So you're going to see a transformation a little bit, more athletic, more competitive. I mean, nothing against, like, look at the Liberty. They got Enescu. She's a great shooter. They've got I forgot Stewart.
We
Breonna
got
Stewart.
UConn in New York.
Mhm.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
got UConn in
definitely.
New York, and I love it.
Yeah. And when I think when Paige Beckers comes out, she's another one. You know what I'm saying? They call her Paige Buckets. She's a walking bucket.
Yeah,
She's a
she got
walking
2
bucket.
ACL
So
tears too, though. So we'll see how that goes.
yeah,
You know,
so we'll see.
but
But
I mean,
you can see the change happening.
right. It's no mistake how you see now that they're really trying to market these women's college basketball players. A lot of them, I mean, you hear every time you go on sports radio that more people are watching the women's college basketball than March Madness. You know, and
Bro, that
all of that is
Elite
for a
Eight,
reason. Sorry.
that Elite Eight or the Final Four had like the most viewers it's ever had all time. It crushed it. It was like 14 million people watched that.
Yep.
And even NBA players are saying they're watching the girls more than they're watching the guys because the college game is getting a little bit watered down a little bit because there's really nobody out there that's taking their game to the next level, really. So they're watching these girls. So
listen, I always
it's a shame that Kobe passed because I think Kobe really was really into elevating the WNBA and women in basketball. And if he had lived, he definitely would have had some ownership stake in the team eventually, especially with the way his daughter was playing and stuff like that. That was going to be the next move.
I agree with you on that. You know, it's no mistake. It's no mistake why they're really trying to sell women's college basketball, man, because they know that they're all going to go to the WNBA, and that in turn is going to build up the WNBA. You know, so
yeah.
Well, and here's how they're trying to do it, because a lot of people are trying to say that Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese is the new Magic and Bird.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make the comparison on Rivalry, which, to be honest with you, there is no comparison. There's no one-for-one comparison in this. But I think they're onto something with running with that type of comparison, because that's what that league also needs to draw eyes to it. Because let's remember, the NBA had its phenomenal players before Magic and Bird.
Yeah.
But once Magic and Bird got into the league, that's when the NBA was the true turn and the lift that then gave us the Michael Jordan and then gave us to where we're at now.
Where they say one tide raises all ships. One tide raises all ships. And they definitely, because the NBA was struggling for a long time in the late 70s and early 80s. People were barely watching it.
With greatness.
And they were watching games on tape delay. They were playing games on national television on tape delay. The game was over, and you were still watching it. The game was over an hour ago, 2 hours ago. Yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the struggle was.
I'm sorry, TJ.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I agree with 99% of what you're saying. But the difference between the NBA and WNBA, when Magic and Bird happened, Magic and Bird stayed at their teams their whole respective careers. With WNBA, these players flip, bounce from team to team like the NHL. So you may have the team last year that this year you don't really remember.
Who really bounced around like that? Because when Maya Moore was in the league, she didn't bounce. When the WNBA kind of first started, nobody bounced. There was that team loyalty shit that we romanticize and reminisce on, but it's business now. Breonna Stewart coming back
is one of the few that did. Yeah.
Right, that you could really, really recall that really moved like that. Most of these star players, Candace Parker, my bad, Candace Parker too.
Candace Parker.
LA Spark for most of her career, and then went to Chicago. The other girl who was the center. The other girl who was the center. Well, the white chick.
Liz Cambage?
No, not Liz. Liz Cambage left the game. The white girl that played on I think the Indianapolis team. She had a lot of health issues with her. I forgot her name, but she had a lot of health issues.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, and I don't have my computer out to Google her. Like she might have been the other one to move, but there's not a lot of to what you're saying. Oh, there's not a lot of like drastic team changes in the WNBA.
No, because those girls want to win with the squad they have.
Yeah, they just and the talent pool there, like there's more parity within that league, with the exception of the fucking Vegas Aces kicking everybody's ass right now. But there's more parity in that league. That like the vibe is anybody can really do it on the right, you know, on the right given night. Anybody can really do it. So I don't think that there's the bounce around. Plus, to say that it's too early because these women that we're talking about ain't even in the league yet. Right. To say that they're gonna bounce around or do this or that.
And I'm just I hope they stay. I hope they stay. You know, they stay on their teams, man, and build with their teams.
Here's what's changing the game for them. They're getting sponsorship deals now. They're getting shoe contracts. They're getting promotional deals that weren't available to them to keep them from not, like Dan said, taking that second job or working any place else. So that's been set up for them. All these NIL deals in college that these girls are making money off of, they can carry that into the league with them. You know what I'm saying? And build bigger sponsorships and get a bigger check. So that's what's going to change the game for all these girls in the college and in the WNBA, because more girls are going to see that. The more shoes you get for these girls, shoe contracts, the more eyes are going to be drawn on it. The more girls that are watching them now that are in junior high school and high school saying, hey, I want to be like her, or I want to work to play with her. You know what I'm saying? That's what's really going to change the game for them.
And the more of these NBA retired veterans that are co-signing and saying, yeah, I'm pulling up watching the women's game more than the college men's game, right, that's helping too. That's helping too, because we're starting to see a lot of them fall off of that bullshit narrative of, oh, the game would be more exciting if they could dunk. It's not. How many we don't see a lot of putback dunks and shit like that in a regular NBA game. It doesn't really make it that much. I mean, now it's different because with men, like TJ said, a lot of these guys can get up to the rim to where it's commonplace. So it doesn't feel special anymore. I mean, we just talked about the dunk contest a couple months ago and how shitty the dunk contest was. So let's take some of the lure out of professional sports and the need to dunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could take some of that out. When you could respect these women's games for what it is. And like I've said for years, I personally enjoy watching, when it comes to college basketball, I enjoy watching the women's game more, just because something about the fundamentals of watching like the women play, it sits different with me than watching some of these dudes just trying to emulate what they see in the NBA, jacking up shots that they shouldn't be, knowing like 98% of them ain't gonna ever make the next level, and just throwing up shit, just trying shit. Like, nah.
It's funny you should say that, Dan, because my boy, when I was playing in the league, New York Urban League, my boy was like, to the whole squad, he was like, yo, none of us are hoopers. Our tallest guys like 6'2". We're below the rim dudes. Go watch women's college basketball, because that's us. We got to pass. We got to cut. We got to get the open man. That's the game we're playing, bro. That's the game we're playing, dogs. That is the game we're playing. Nothing else.
You know, and this goes back to the running argument that we have. Like, the NBA really needs to look into raising the age of when you can get in and play, because all this one and done, you're not getting a better product. Nope. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these kids, they need these extra years, maybe not in college, maybe
but
overseas, and play
that's on the
and learn
AAU
fundamental
coaches.
basketball.
That's on the AAU coaches and all these camps and shit like that, bro. They're not promoting teamwork. It's about the individual. It's not about the team. It's all about get this guy the ball and let him cook.
Natural
and that serves nobody. That serves nobody.
And college, and let's keep it real, college basketball ain't doing it no more either. Men's college basketball hasn't been doing it for years now.
Right, because it's now going off of the whole one and done. That's why Calipari's program sucks right now. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
because all the players want to play one season.
Hold on, Calipari always had one and done guys.
Right. In the beginning,
Calipari groomed those dudes to go to the NBA, though. Exactly. You go to Kentucky, you damn near got a job in the NBA, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. He'll tell you you're ready, and he wants you to go. He doesn't want to keep you. He's looking at the next guy coming up behind you, saying, "Hey, you go now, or you're gonna be fighting with this kid behind you, who's just as good, just as talented." You know, Calipari don't play. The guy who you should be looking at, he's retired now, was Jay Wright with all them Villanova teams. They didn't have one superstar. They played as a team. Brunson, Hart, DiVincenzo,
correct,
Amari Spellman, all those guys had a role, and they fit that role. There was no celebrating. It was about a team. It was a team effort the whole time. They're not coaching like that.
How many years did they stay in? Hart, Josh Hart played 3 years. Everybody else played
3 years.
And I think DiVincenzo went early too.
But that DiVincenzo played 3.
They played multiple seasons. They played multiple years.
But this is why TJ was right when he said it goes back to the AAU coaches, because how many of those guys came out of spots or even my bad, yo.
Listen, I got you, Dan. Listen, all these kids coming out of these camps and high schools, they were the man on their team. Now they got to go to a college team. Everybody's the fucking man. Everybody that's there was the man on their team. Everybody was Mr. Basketball at their school, Mr. State, Mr. High School Championship. Now you have to learn how to figure out how to play with everybody else, bro. Everybody else is just as good or just as nice as you. They're not building teams for role players. You know what I'm saying? No, they're not building teams like that.
And what I wanted to add, because the volume finally got lowered, it was what was each individual player's commitment to themselves and to their games. Because that's why I said a lot of these AAU kids is, it's the best player from this place, the best player from this place, the best player from this place. And then even within that, the coaches is just like, get this dude the ball and let him go. Get this person the ball, let him go.
They're competing against each other. Yeah, they're competing against each other, Dan.
Well, you're competing against each other on the same team while still trying to shine as one of the best players in the nation. What team game do you learn? Where when you get a thing like a team like a Villanova and shit like that, you might have the one or two. You might have the one or two that were like, okay, these guys were McDonald or American tops in the nation, and then you got the other guys that it's like you're right at the cusp, but you understand the team element. And then what type of commitment do y'all make as a team to say, yo, we're going to rock this out until, you know what? You keep your grades here. You keep your grades here. We're going to keep these scholarships up. But how much do we want it as a crew? Because we can't keep romanticizing the eras from back in the day where you only had one or two that were coming out, but all these teams stayed for 4 years in free labor. You know, now we might get a return to that. And I'm going to get back to, let me get to you, TJ, after this last point. We might get to that only because of these NIL deals that some of these top athletes are making, because they can make tons of money before exiting school.
Yeah, right. But here's the thing. Basketball is a team sport. You can do the 1-on-5 all day. Jordan don't win the last 3 championships without Dennis Rodman. All right? Him and Pippen can't do it by themselves. Jordan can't win those championships without the Luke Longleys, without the Bill Cartwrights, without the B.J. Armstrongs, without the John Paxsons. Those teams were legendary because of their role players. Jordan did the heavy lifting, but if Jordan got double teamed, he was passing the ball. He kicked it out, and he wanted you to make that shot. You better nail that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm drawing the attention to me to let you shine. That's the whole deal. That's what they're missing. You can do 1-on-5 all day. Yes, your individual talent will carry you far. Far. Yes, we're not denying that in no way, shape, or form. But somebody's got to grab a rebound. Somebody's got to lock somebody up on defense. It's 25 seconds left. The best player has the ball. If this dude misses and you're guarding the best player, who's grabbing the rebound when he misses? Not you. You're out to play. You need somebody that you can lean on and say, yo, if I lock this dude up, get my back. Or I'm holding this guy down here. Throw it up, I got you. You need guys like that. That's the only way it works. That's why Denver, even though Jokic is a maestro and his court IQ is phenomenal, but if you don't pass it to the people and he's just taking shot after shot after shot, Denver's not winning shit. All right? He's elevating his players around him. They know they're getting the ball. They're not worried about scoring 25 points a night, making all NBA. They're worried about making that ring. And then, you know what? These role players, when their teams can't sign them, they get signed for big contracts elsewhere. You see it all the time. They miss a key role player here. They miss a key. Look at Drew Holiday from Milwaukee to Boston. You know what? He wasn't the best player on his team, but he was a key cog in that wheel, in the machine to make it work. That's why Giannis went to the finals. It wasn't all Giannis.
I know they wish they had him now.
No, excuse me. But all of that said, it just ties back into the individual player themselves. What you're no longer the man amongst another crew. Now you are the man, like Robin Harris said.
You know what, Dan?
You're the man sitting next to the man, sitting next to the man, sitting next to the goddamn man who are all better than you. Now find your place. Now find your place.
You know what? That comes with maturity, Dan. That comes with maturity.
It does, but the problem,
and it doesn't happen in year 1 or year 2 or anything like that. You just need to play.
To what O was describing before, as far as these cats not staying, like there were players, yes, that did benefit from staying all 4. Some of them players just stayed for all 4 because they've said, I told my mom and dad I'm gonna make sure I get my degree, then move on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. But even still, the way the men's college game is now, it doesn't serve for some of the best to stay. Go get out and try to get more money while you can.
Here's a perfect example. Here's a perfect example. Victor Wembanyama, right? I've watched a couple of Spurs games. This dude is 7'4", all right? And he was like, yo, I'm open, passing me the ball. They'll look the other way and swing that shit away from him. It made no sense. It made no sense. Like, feed him. He's going to get you where you need to go. But
and we didn't even dive down really like the whole European player role aspect of this shit.
No, they play team ball.
They come from pro leagues that understand the team fundamentals. Yeah, you're gonna shine, but why do we say Luka Doncic's court vision is fucking outstanding? Because he was playing like that amongst grown-ass men at like fucking 15, 16 years old.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? People develop in certain environments differently than others. Could the college game bring that back? Yeah. Would it take exactly what O said and players staying another 4 years? Yeah. But when you got most of these college coaches, which it seems like you say, you bring up Calipari, you're grooming players to go to the next level instead of grooming players to hone their craft to make a longer career at the next level than just being a name.
This dude Popovich said, so somebody was interviewing Popovich and he stayed long enough not being an asshole about it. And he was like, he was basically like, yo, you know, when I had Tim Duncan, Ginobili, Parker, all these guys, I didn't have to teach. There was, you know, all we had to do was run plays. He's like, now in practice, all I'm doing is teaching fundamental basketball. You know, how to stay, how to space, how to, you know, cut and you know, set proper picks, and I'm like, damn, like, you know, this is the NBA. You should know
you're a
this.
professional. You should know the basics by now.
Right.
You should know the basics.
And he's teaching fundamental, basic high school fundamental basketball. You know,
and that should tell you the direction that the game went. But once a coach, always a coach. Why are you looking? It to me, that makes it, in one angle, it makes it sound like, yeah, I'm sorry, your job is no longer as easy as you had it. Now you actually have to do what you're getting paid for.
You have to, and that's the difference between. And you're right, but that's the difference between like a Tom Thibodeau and somebody else. They said his preparation is phenomenal, so you're not going into the game surprised by anything. These guys know what's coming. They practice on what he sets up, and then that's why he has the success he has, because everybody's buying in to what he's selling. And you can't do that if it's a me first type of player. It's not going to work if I have a me first type of player. These guys want to be coached. Sometimes the personality doesn't fit the team, or the team doesn't fit the personality of the coach, or the system doesn't work. That's another story. That's another rabbit hole altogether, because we see that all the time in every sport. The system doesn't fit the player. And then when the player goes to where the system fits him, he fucking shines phenomenally. And you're like, why couldn't he do this here? Or why didn't he do that there? Because they made the system work for him, or he was comfortable in that system. And now he's learning the game. He's passing the ball. He's rebounding. He's putting the effort on the defensive end because the system works for him and the team at the same time. And you got people on the team who understand their role.
And we just wrap it like this, because this is a segue into the old topic. Though LeBron plays like a coach on the floor, even a player like LeBron still would want to be coached.
Right. Yeah.
Right. You need that.
Speaking of which, what y'all think about Bronny talking about entering the draft?
He won't go first round. He's doing it to test the waters. I think
he's going.
I think he'll stay. He's in the transfer portal. I think he'll do another year, because you're going to really draft this kid. He's averaging barely 5-6 points a game, and he's really not developed yet. I don't know. That's a project, man.
Would you do it? Would you do it knowing that LeBron wants to play with his kid?
No,
that's where you fast forwarded, and that's what you just fast forwarded my point. Because when you look at the Bronny situation, he's still keeping his eligibility and all of that. Like TJ said, testing the waters, but he's still keeping his eligibility, still keeping, I think he said, transfer portal, all of that stuff, right? But you got the ability to get LeBron James on your team. Let's make no bones about this shit. That's exactly what you just said is exactly what I see happening. But it just depends on the franchise.
I don't know, man. I don't think he should come out.
I said
the same thing about Austin Rivers before he came out too early when he was at Duke. He's only coming out because his pops is a head coach in the NBA, and he's going to make sure his son does well. And Austin Rivers' career was nothing to write home about.
Yeah,
but he's not even in the league anymore. He had a career longer than most, but
he did. But that was because of his father. He'd have been out the league 4 or 5 years ago, even if not longer.
Get it how you can. Get it however the fuck you can.
I'm gonna ride this train until the wheels fall off.
Man, if my father made it to the heights that he should have on my job, I'm using that shit, because every other white person does that shit too. They call them hooks on our job. They call them hooks on our job. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, good for him if he wants to test the waters. I think a team might try that But nah, he's a cat. Especially, thankfully he's running healthier now after his health concerns. Would he even be of physical ability to pass some of these teams' physicals?
Yeah.
We don't know. So it don't hurt to test the water, but also understand this is a package deal. This definitely
Yeah, but
this is a package deal.
if the Washington Wizards say we're grabbing him, what is LeBron going to do? He can't tell them I'm not. He's going to pull a Eli Manning and say I'm not going to play for him. I'm not going to play for this team unless I go here.
Get my 3-piece with mumbo sauce ready, nigga. he gonna say, yo, crab boils at my house. No more Taco Tuesdays. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do ever this? Yo, it's 4 wings. It's always, not 3.
It's 4 wings. It's always 4 wings.
4, and you don't even have to say 4 wings. It's let me get wings with whatever, and it's always 4, not 3.
I think it should be 5, but that's just me being greedy.
Or if you're like, shout out to one of my favorite Chinese restaurants out here, they'll give you 6 pieces, but it's already cut up and it's already cut up halved. So it's nice. You're getting really 3 flats, 3 drums, but they're also bigger pieces of chicken that you'll get in like the regular hood spot. So it's like eating 6 wings almost, 6 full wings. But anyway, niggas is hungry. But yeah. Was Segway and LeBron, not because of his son, but because of the Diddy parties. Oh,
Jesus!
The TMZ portion of the show.
Why do you hand it up to me, man?
Because this is your specialty, bro.
This is the type of topic stuff that you try to push in every week that don't fit with everything else. But you try to get this in, so pause.
Yo, y'all try to act like y'all just ignoring all the memes that come your way and shit. I know most of them come from me. I just want to put out there.
You the one. It's your memes, bro. What are you talking about? Most of the memes, all of them come from you, bro. If you ever sit in our group chat with O will have 10 memes a day ready. The trigger is hot.
They funny though. They
be funny.
Like 50% of them has been funny. I'm gonna keep it real with you on the show live. At least 50% of your posts are funny. At least 50%. And
that's a high number, man. 50% of the time it works every time.
Yeah, there you go. Just like Sex Panther. almost like Sex Panther. Sex Panther works 60% of the time.
60% of the time it works every time.
That's 1 out of every 4, bro. That's 1 out of 4. That's a great average.
Exactly. That's how I see it. In baseball, man, I'd be unstoppable.
That's Hall of Fame. That's Hall of Fame career.
But nah, man, your boy Puff just stepped in it, man. I mean, and in the immortal words of Kanan Stark, whatever them niggas say that nigga did, he did it, man. You know, it's just too much. Just had too much shit in his career that we can't say, oh, you can't say, oh, this is them trying to bring the black man down. Nah, it's just too much shit that's going on.
You can't turn a blind eye to it. I just don't like the fact he left his kids holding the bag like that.
Yeah.
I could never do that to my kid.
Yeah.
Now, conspiracy on that is allegedly people are trying to conspiracize that he set that up so it could look like people ran in to go get the information with all these other names. And then I heard he was like back at his house, like nothing happened, like chilling.
Yeah. I did see videos of him back, him back in his crib or whatever.
How did he get back into the United States and they not know about it? They should have been waiting at the airport for that motherfucker, bro.
Yeah.
Tail number, time, place, cars on the tarmac. Yeah, motherfucker. Welcome back. Give me your passport. Give me your identification. now you can't leave. You know what I'm saying? But the only thing that, I mean, if he did it, it's fucked up. I'm sure he's done some of it, if not all of it. But I just can't see myself leaving my kids in the crib like that. I'd be like, yo, heads up, you know what's going down. Go stay at your mom's, your uncle, your cousin's house, whatever, and we'll figure this shit out. But for them to be in the crib, come on, man.
That was crazy.
Come on, man. I don't know. That parental value shit is out the window at that point. Like, do you love your kids? You say you do. You know what I'm saying? I just can't leave them. For them to even experience that, to be handcuffed and like have the feds running your crib, you don't want that. Come on, man. Like they didn't do nothing to deserve that. That's what you're going to use your legacy for? Come on, dogs. You got all that money? Stop it.
The only thing I enjoyed out of all of this is the new pause. And that's No Diddy.
No Diddy.
No Diddy has been the most enjoyable part about all of this. Other than that, there's really nothing to enjoy about it. Like, yeah, we're watching somebody who was a quote unquote icon of our era go down. And it ain't stopping with him. There's just like shit like this. There's more to come because we've always known like all these moguls and business heads and shit like that. Like the money affords them to do all the freaky shit that they got away with for decades. You know what I'm saying? The money affords them of that. The money buys them all the booty holes that they want.
Mm-hmm.
It's just coming out now. The only issues that I have, if there is an issue that I would have, which realistically ain't got nothing to do with me, but it's, if you are of that community, just be that. And it's okay. Just be that. It's okay.
What bothers me the most is all the people that turned a blind eye to that bullshit because they didn't want to fuck up their bag.
That too, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, dogs. You have no morals just because you fucked up that bag. You don't want to fuck up your money. Like, come on, man.
Also, we are of that era where we don't speak about it outside of the circles. You know what I'm saying? And then, like you said, how many people kept their mouths shut just to keep their bag because they knew they was gonna get blackballed?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that just bothers me. That bothers me on another level because if it was their kids, or they wouldn't have none of that shit. But it's not me. I don't know them, so fuck it. I'm just let it rock. Like, you have to have some sense of morality there. You know what I'm saying? There has to be some. There's some disturbing shit that was coming out. Like, bro, how did you like put this chick in a car and drive her to wherever? You know what I'm saying? You didn't say nothing. You didn't do nothing. Come on, dogs. You know what's wrong.
There's a lot of quote unquote creepy feelings towards a lot of that shit. But again, we are also evolved in our thinking. We all think differently to where we definitely can't sit back and say, we don't sit back and just we're of the era where we just kept our mouths shut. You know what I'm saying? We didn't say shit, we didn't do shit. We're of that era where we just shut up and didn't mess shit up.
But you know what? If you see some shit like that and it's uncomfortable, just be like, yeah, I can't do this no more, and walk away.
Yeah, that's kind of the era that we're from too, where it's like, yo, fuck this, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I'm out of here. But the people speaking up and stuff now, it's like it's again with different level of thinking. We've grown up differently. Our minds have changed to where it's like, nah, we can't let that rock. And like the other side note is like a lot of people were saying, and it's funny that I agree with it. Like when now you listen to a person that we thought was, people would think was crazy, like Orlando Brown or Cat Williams or people like that. Like, some of these people been telling the truth for years.
Look at Wendy Williams. I was about to say Wendy Williams, man. She was somebody gay rapper, and she was about to come up with the name, And Puff, and so how the story goes, Puff went into the studios and was like, "Yo, yeah, you need to get her up out of here." And next thing you know,
yeah, but Wendy wasn't doing it for the benefit of nobody. She was doing it for the benefit of herself, bro.
Yeah, that's the difference.
That's the difference, man. She was just trying to expose people to make her star shine brighter. And you can't win that way either. You can't win that way either. So, you're burying yourself on top of that. You know what I'm saying? You're doing it, as they say, for the clicks and the likes. And before that time, that's what Wendy Williams was doing it for. Right. She just wanted to expose everybody, thinking that would change her as being Miss Gossip and having her ear to the inside circles. And you can't do that. You can't do it. That's not the right proper way to do it, I should say. If you're going to expose them for do it the right way. There's no self-gratification because you outed somebody. It doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be doing it for the benefit of you. You should be doing it for the benefit of the person and more people coming up behind her or that person to not fall into these traps. Right. You know what I'm saying? She didn't do that like that.
Yeah, no, yeah. With her, it always felt messy when it was with her because she was known for gossip, and then now, like when you think about it, and this ain't really a laughing matter, but people are trying to bullshit and say, oh, it's karma that she's going through all of her health situations, which hopefully she can kick out of, but people are trying to bullshit and say, oh, that's karma that she's experiencing this for all the quote unquote bad and all the shit talking and gossiping that she did in her day. That karma shit for that kind of thing is bullshit. It's a terrible thing to try to say about a person going through something like that. But just the opposite end is it speaks to what we was just talking about, how she wasn't doing it for just reasons. She was doing it for just her reasons.
Yeah.
Right.
To where it hits different. But these other people that are like, where Orlando Brown, he just makes it funny, to be honest with you. Because he was talking about, ooh, he gave me that squash, whatever the fuck he was trying to say. That shit was hilarious. That shit was hilarious, the way he put it. But he very well could have been getting that, whatever the fuck he was trying to say. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if you guys, there's a new documentary on HBO Max. It's
I need to see it.
It's like it's a behind the scenes of child actors.
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon. Ooh.
Fuck Dan Schneider. That's all we got to say.
It goes deeper than that. It goes deeper than that, bro. But
is it a series? Is it a series or is it a show? It's like one.
It's like a mini series.
It's
a documentary series. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And what they had these kids doing is fucked up, man. It's really fucked up, man. And I don't understand how these parents let these kids run around all unsupervised. I'm just old school, and my parents are old school, so they wasn't just going to let me run around without no adult supervision. My pops wasn't having that. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is, because he's looking out for me at the end of the day. TJ, so go ahead.
I'm sorry. So we were having this discussion. We didn't talk about the Dan Schneider. We were talking more about the Puff shit at work, and we were talking about the Michigan State. Yo, is there a goddamn eagle overhead or something?
Nah, that's a crow, bro.
Oh. we was talking about the Michigan State doctor, right, for the gymnastics doctor, and we were saying that a lot of these parents, they'll unfortunately, and for lack of a better word, they'll turn a blind eye, or they'll try and discredit what their kids are saying to them, or because they want to be the next star in gymnastics. And same thing with these child stars.
Here's the thing, you got to trust your kids. You have to have that relationship with your kids. I always told my daughter when she was growing up, I said, tell me the truth first. So, because I don't want to have to believe a stranger. It's your word versus theirs. I know you better than they.
It's not even that. It's not even like a parent, like you know, like I'm not saying you. I'm saying these parents of these child stars that you know you're supposed to see.
Oh, because they're living through the kids. Oh, they're living through the kids, and they're getting a
right.
bag. They're getting a bag,
Right,
so they don't
about
want
the
that
bag.
money to disappear. They don't want that money to go away.
Exactly.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up, man.
Yes.
It goes exactly to what we just spoke about before. It's you don't want to get blackballed in the industry so young, so you go along to get along. And that's the fucked up part about it. But I gotta see. I've been seeing a lot. I've been hearing a lot of pods talk about that shit. Like I gotta watch that shit. Part because I mean it's Nickelodeon. Like I'm one of those kids who was raised off of Nickelodeon.
We all grew up with that shit,
right?
Bro. We all
but that era Nickelodeon was like right when I'm already cracked past, you know, into young adulthood, and then some of it is my daughter's, like the beginning of that era. Like
how many stories we heard where
TJ, I don't believe
how many stories
TJ grew up over 3-2-1 contact and the electric company. So
no, but he was at that age. You could say he was at that age where it was like, yo, where Camp Lackawanna or Camp Anawanna was still a thing. Salute Your Shorts was still out. Ren and Stimpy just started. Like TJ was like just cracking into young adulthood when all of that shit came out. You know, he said, Curtis said, I grew up on You Can't Do That on Television. Who remember that?
Wow.
Barely.
Yeah.
Barely.
Yeah.
No, you know, but Hey Dude, not Camp Lackawanna. Fucking Hey Dude was out. Like, yeah.
It's just like, and it's like here's a how many times we've heard that these parents were pushing these kids, Emmanuel Stewart, Webster, they spent all his money, ruined the kid's life and career. Like all these childhood actors, their parents were living through them. So, you know, they didn't get any shine, but you know what? This is my meal ticket. We're going to get a big house because of you. I'm going to get the cars I want to drive because of you. And I'm going to manage and take over all your money because you're a young adult and you're not going to know anything to do with it. Meanwhile, they're doing a worse job than the kids would have did if they had a person responsible for their cash. It happens all too often, man. They fall down this rabbit hole, this black hole, and these parents are living the lives of the childhood star, and they're reaping all the benefits of it.
Hey, listen. If our kids make it into some sort of successful level where they can bring in money like that, I think we all would want to, you know, quote unquote, live through them in some respect, you know what I'm saying, and live off them. But I think we are the parents who are of logical thinking that no, do you? If you give back to us, cool. But this is your
because
life.
You're the support. You are the support for them. They're going to come to you for everything, all the business decisions, all the shit that needs to be done. They're going to lean on you and be like, Mom, what do you think? Dad, what do you think about this?
Oh yeah, but I wouldn't be parent trying to manage my child.
No, you ain't gonna be that helicopter parent. You know what I'm saying? Where you just no, we're gonna do this or
if
nothing.
There's some shit you see your agent fucking up or think, I'm gonna be like, yo, you need to watch this motherfucker, shit like that. But that's where building the relationship with your children from early is key, like you say. Building that relationship early is key to tell your kids. Like I said, I've always told my daughters, yo, if you tell me the truth, you are not going to get in trouble.
Right.
Even if you did wrong.
Right.
Tell me the truth and you're not going to get in trouble.
I've always told my daughter, I was like, listen, let's figure out what the problem is first. Then we'll deal with the repercussions after. But I don't want to have to put you telling me the truth versus somebody I don't know telling me what their truth is, because that's what they want. I don't want to have that conversation.
Right. Like Curtis said, I just don't get how you can drop your kids off for a week at an entertainer's house with no contact, like the kids with R. Kelly. Like, I don't even like my kids having their doors shut too long. Like,
Right.
that's a reach. That's a stretch as far as the kids having the doors closed in the room. But yeah, on some R. Kelly shit, like, nah, like, you ain't, nah.
Not around adults, man. Not around adults. It's just a
Yeah.
different game.
Nah, that's out.
It's just a different game. Yeah,
That's
you
out.
can't do that.
Yeah,
Can't
but
do
what
that.
we can't do is the rest of this show because there ain't shit else anymore.
Oh
Big
man.
O.
No, well, yo, we're not gonna talk about the earthquake.
Oh,
We're not
Well,
gonna talk
I
about
mean,
that.
we
that
can.
life-changing
What is there to
experience?
talk about? It felt like I thought it made me the earthquake shit made me fucking look in my basement because I thought something was about to blow up in this piece of shit.
let me tell you something. I heard it before the house started shaking. It was like a real low rumble. Like it's like what everybody said. It felt like a helicopter or a plane was flying too close to the crib.
It felt like
And
a
then the
train
house-
running underneath the house. That's what it felt like.
And I'm looking outside. I'm like, I don't see no helicopter. Like, where the fuck was this dude at? Because it made this loud noise. The house shook, and then it just stopped. It got right back to quiet. And I was like, that's weird. I don't see no cars out here. I don't see no plane flying too low or no helicopter flying too low over here. So I'm like, where is this rumbling coming from? And then I called my brother. He was like, yeah, it was an earthquake. I was like, oh, shit. If New York gets anything over a 5 or a 6.0 earthquake, we're fucked.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
are
we're fucked.
fucked, bro.
Yo,
We're fucked.
Possibly, but like I freaking you know, I said it's a possibility. Like I said, a lot of people like myself, it felt like a fucking train was running underground in places that don't have underground train systems.
Yeah.
But they're funny enough, like my wife said it in her store, like she didn't feel shit, and that's in Manhattan.
Right.
But
Right.
it was people upstate, like all the way upstate deep. Was like, yo, I felt that shit. Yo, I felt that shit. Like me, I was like, yo, I mean, I'm on Staten Island. We're close to Jersey. But it was like, yo, I felt all of it. And then the aftershock came at like 6 in the afternoon, 6 in the evening.
I didn't feel that
Again.
shit.
I felt the aftershock.
I felt that.
Yeah, I felt the aftershock.
Did you hear that the earthquake?
Mm.
Did you hear the epicenter was like near like Trump's golf course in Bedminster? That's where the epicenter was at.
Should have swallowed that shit.
Should have sinkholed his whole shit. And now we got the eclipse coming tomorrow, so I'm waiting for the aliens to land on Thursday.
I'm with
You know
that.
what I'm saying?
I'm trying to get my superpowers myself.
Word. But yo, because I gotta run. We done.
Okay.
Oh, you know what to do.
Yo, South
Okay.
Carolina for the win, man. Tonight, South Carolina for the win, man.
Shout out to Dawn Staley.
Yes.
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 Great show. Big up to Curtis in the comments. Another good show. It's 3-man team. Jamal, we miss you. Lispa, we miss you. Good to see you guys. I'm glad we're back, and looking forward to next week.
Word.
Shout out to Hook Rubs and Spices too.
Yes, shout outs to the brother Jared, hooksrub.com. Use the code STAR5 for 20% off your order. I'm hoping for a better night 2 of fucking WrestleMania, because night 1, it wasn't for me. Like night 1 had me questioning, I might not even watch wrestling anymore. So I'm tired.
Damn.
It was that
I'm
bad.
tired of the predictability. I'm tired of WWE and being so fucking predictable. It's a company that does more stories, and they do more storytelling with a little drop of wrestling here and there. Where the wrestling ain't
I was about to
focus.
ask you, is more about the story than the wrestling now?
In the WWE, it's more about the story than the wrestling. Everywhere else, it's more about the wrestling than the story.
Okay.
But with that being said, we out. I got to bounce to get the family. Peace.
Peace.
All right, yo.